garbage Rudy Giuliani, Trump's henchman. It's the last ditch effort in
Henchman.
this desperate campaign to smear me and my family. And the vast majority of the intelligence people have come out and said there's no basis at all.
We don't believe the intelligence people.
Well, you notice he doesn't say, he never says the laptop
They're
emails
rats.
are fake. He does point
They
to
should all be
intelligence
fired.
people. He's talking about a letter written by partisan former intel officials who've admitted they don't know anything about the laptop because they haven't seen it. So don't listen to the current director of national intelligence, Joe Biden says, listening to John Brennan on MSNBC. But the weirdest part of the
Yeah, listen to the one who got fired by Trump.
His son ever profited from his connection to Joe Biden, even though Hunter Biden has admitted that, in fact, on camera.
You didn't have any extensive knowledge about natural gas or Ukraine itself, though.
No, but I think that I had as much knowledge as anybody else who was on the board, if not more.
I probably got more knowledge about it.
On that board, you did not list the fact that you were the son of the vice president.
Yeah, no,
What role do you think that played?
I think that it is impossible for me to be on any of the boards that I just mentioned without saying that I'm the son of the Vice President of the United States.
Ain't no fortunate son, no.
This kind of garbage is ubiquitous in Washington. It's how the entire private sector of the city makes its living. It's how people pay their mortgages and send their kids to private school. This is what Washington does. It's not an excuse, it's just the truth.
Exactly.
So maybe the Biden campaign admitted that, they'd be able to get past the story.
Exactly.
They're lying about it. So what should we make of that? Glenn Greenwald is the co-founder of The Intercept. Joins us.
Convenient to lie about it.
Where do you think the story is right now? What do you make of it?
Well, the problem with the story is that not that Joe Biden isn't answering questions, because that's what a presidential candidate would do if he's not forced to, which is just simply evade the questions that are being posed to him. The problem is the corruption that is absolutely pervasive
Exactly.
in the U.S. media. There are newsrooms all throughout New York and Washington, D.C., where top editors are explicitly saying they do not want this story investigated. And they're being clear that the reason that they don't want it investigated is because they think even if there's corruption that's exposed here, in their view, Trump is worse. And therefore, it would be malfeasance on the part of the media to report corruption on the part of Biden when Trump is so much more corrupt. What they're really saying is they see their role as journalists not as informing the public, to let the public decide which candidate is better and which is worse. They see journalism, the function of it, is to defeat Donald Trump and elect Joe Biden. So many basic questions, Tucker, that journalists should be demanding Joe Biden answer. Are the emails authentic? Do you claim that any of them have been fraudulently altered or fabricated? Did your son actually drop off that laptop in the Delaware repair store? Did you ever discuss with him meeting with Burisma executives or in fact meet with Burisma executives? Why was the prosecutor that you accepted as the replacement for the one you demand to be fired, somebody who had no experience as a prosecutor, was himself imprisoned for embezzlement, was a lackey of the Ukrainian president? Why was somebody like that acceptable to you if the goal, as you claim, was good government in Ukraine as opposed to benefiting Burisma? Maybe there are good answers to those questions, but he's not answering them because the media has said you don't have to.
They said, what's your favorite ice cream?
There's a lot of stuff here. I know there's a lot on that computer. There are also documents floating around that are not from that computer. What have we learned recently? What didn't we know yesterday?
Well, I mean, there are things that are suggested strongly by these emails that we ought to know the answers to. Biden
Underage sex with Asians.
On behalf of Hunter Biden or Burisma, but these emails suggest the opposite, that he actually did, in fact, meet with Burisma executives at Hunter's request, which is why there's an email thanking Hunter for the opportunity to meet with his father.
Exactly.
Is that true? Did he meet with those executives? There are emails that are suggestive of the fact that Hunter gave part of his salary to the vice president and negotiated deals in China that were intended to personally benefit Joe Biden. Remember, when Biden was in government for 50 years, he never made much money. He was looking to get rich, which he did once he left the White House. Did he ever consummate those deals or discuss any of those deals with Hunter? And again, to me, the key question that is provoked by a lot of these emails is if it was the case that there was a noble and benevolent motive in trying to get this Ukrainian prosecutor fired, and it wasn't to help Burisma, but instead to clean out corruption, why did they release the funds after one of the most corrupt people in all of Ukraine was appointed to that position? What is Joe Biden's answer to that? If we had a working press, we would know it.
That's exactly right. And thank you for always directing the conversation back to the foreign policy part of this, which is the most outrageous part of all. It's been completely ignored, except by you, basically. And
Joe
I think you're
Biden wanted a
exactly right about
pension.
that.
He
Like,
wanted
we
his
will-
pension from 2017 to
Why is the Vice President of the
2020.
United States firing a prosecutor in Ukraine? How does that help our country? It doesn't. Well, we're less than 2 weeks out from Election Day. We're hearing tonight directly from the president about how he feels about his chances. Plus, the Senate hanging in the balance, of course, this year. What are the chances the Republican majority survives? That's straight ahead. Trump rally is wrapping up tonight in North Carolina.
And the Bidens are trash. And the president knows it. All the American people know it. The Bidens are a criminal syndicate family, like the Clintons. They're crime families.